Hello, friends. What's up? Gonna open this up for questions. If anybody's around, and it's a little bit of short notice, but I'm gonna try to answer any questions you might have just in this short time. So yeah, if you're here, just ask anything you want. Write it down at the bottom. I'm gonna try to follow on the larger website, YouTube. So this could be anything. This could be questions from programs I put out lately. This could be questions on form. This could be something like anything you want. Really related to kettlebells and kettlebell only muscle gain, swingless kettlebell and strength, all that stuff. So yeah, just go ahead and type them, and I'll see if I can get stuff down there. All messages are visible. Let's see. So how is everybody doing? I just want to say thanks for visiting. This will probably take a minute to get everybody notified. If I can get to the channel and the community area. Haven't done a bunch of these, so let's see. What are the best kettlebell exercises for upper body muscle growth? Okay, now a lot of that totally depends on a lot of different variables. But obviously, your presses, anything, pushing away. If a lot of kettlebells are vertical, so you're going to be pressing above your head. Strict presses are great to build the shoulders. You can do an arched upper body press to get in the pecs a little bit more involved. I personally like double kettlebells because you're not going to be using a lot more of your torso. You're not going to be laterally or rotating. Strict presses, chair presses, things like that. Z presses are great. But like I said, if you're pressing straight, you can arch up and you get a little bit more of your pecs. You can do a crush grip kettlebell press that keeps your pecs engaged a lot more as you're pressing the bell up in front. That'll work. For the back, anything rows, cleans, snatches, single snatches, they're great. People think kettlebells are all about creating, I don't even know why they get into that, but they think kettlebells are about momentum. Well, the momentum is produced by force production from your lower body. So if you're going for above, you're not going to have any momentum. So press hard, press fast, move up in weight, all those variables, they're going to be great. I like doing Kentucky burpees, what I call basically a push-up on 2 kettlebells, a clean and a press, or a clean and a jerk, how I like to do it. Like I said, anything rows, anything high pulls, double snatches. So let's see, where are we at? Okay. Personally, I really do like doing a kettlebell Turkish get-up. So when you're heavier, you have to focus on that shoulder. You're only going to be as strong as your weakest link, okay? So maintain integrity of your shoulder. Focus on hitting multiple ranges of motion, and some of those ranges might be lightweight. If I do a SOTS press or something like that, the weight isn't going to be anywhere near what I'm going to do if I'm doing a standing press. You got to think about where you're at. John, thanks. Followed the channel for years. Thanks for the info. Absolutely. I really appreciate your support. If anybody was watching, you can definitely leave a super thanks down there. Kind of like a little donation. Hit us up. I'll actually be competing at the World Kettlebell Championships in Maia, Portugal in June. So I need to focus on getting some money to get there. But anyway, that's one of my, I wouldn't say that it was a life goal, but it was something that happened, and I'm gonna roll with it. I love doing kettlebell snatches. So if I can compete and do something fun with that, like after COVID happened, I focus on just doing kettlebell only muscle gain. So if you go to kbmuscle.com, you can see all the programs I've built since then. So the last 2.5 years or so, all that stuff there. And I basically built it all from this channel that I've done for the last 12 years. 13 years, since 2009. Wow. But anyway, when I got back into doing kettlebell sport, there weren't any competitions, and I just did a couple kettlebell snatch sets, and I was actually doing better than I was before. So building muscle allowed me to help handle heavier weights, all that stuff. So there's a lot of different things. People think kettlebells are only good for conditioning and whatnot. Personally, I absolutely love them for building strength and density. Okay, so you're not going to have like giant muscle. I mean, you're going to have to focus on that for like bodybuilding techniques, but the things that I put out do have bodybuilding techniques built in using kettlebells, because that's where I came from. I came from doing bodybuilding competitions, and then I got into kettlebells because it was just more of a challenge to me, and then I just put them both together. And that's how we have Kettlebell Only Muscle Gain 1 and a lot of different other programs that I've put up at kbmuscle.com. Okay, anybody have some more questions? I've been working a lot on a new double kettlebell program. So back to anytime you're using double kettlebells, if you think about this, you're overloading your body. If I can press a 32 with my right, press a 32 with my left one time, I bet you're not going to be able to press them both at the same time. So if you drop down and using doubles, instead of trying to go higher than 32, a single arm, drop down a little bit and try doing doubles. You're going to overload your body and everything below your shoulders with so much more. So if I can press a 24 kilogram a bunch of times on my right and a bunch of times on my left, now I'm doing them double at the same time, my body is handling 48 kilograms. So that means everything I do, the cleans, all that stuff, is a lot more than what I would have been doing with just a single heavier kettlebell. If I did a 32, 48 is a lot more work on the body than, 48 is a lot more on the body than 32. So overall, my density, and that's what I think people are asking how I build more muscle. I've always used double kettlebells ever since the beginning. Even if there were two 16 or 20 kilogram kettlebells, I've always had doubles as a staple in my training. So, any other questions? Just leave them, type them up there. I'm going to see if I can follow around here. What have you found to be an all-time best movement for back hypertrophy? Do you ever push weighted chins? I used to do weighted chins until I became 225 pounds. So now, I don't do a lot. I do hangs and stuff like that, but I don't do a lot of chin-ups anymore. But people ask how my back got wide. I do a lot of double cleans and a lot of double snatches. When I even squat with double kettlebells, I'm locking down, using my lats to lock everything down in place, and I'm just not hanging out in a rack. I'm creating a stable table and structure, and the lats are a major part of connecting your shoulders to your hips. People think of the back as just the spinal erectors and stuff, but the lats are the outside part, the lats and the traps, to help stabilize as well. Best improvement for back hypertrophy, I absolutely love doing double cleans. Now, I like to do wide grip rack chins. So basically, I set a bar on a squat rack at about chest height, and I put a bench down in front of it. Some of these videos are on my YouTube. Just type in rack chin. And you put your feet up on the bench so you're in an L, or kind of like a check mark shape. And you're pulling out and just focusing on getting your lats as wide as possible as you pull down. Now, you can't use your body to help. You can't kip with your feet. And then you can load your hips up See, the thing about me is my legs are much bigger than most of my body. And people, I train all the time. I train my legs all the time. Let's see. So that one thing is why I weigh a lot more than people that have a bigger, maybe look like they have a bigger upper body, is I have bigger legs and hips than most people. My torso is very, very solid from lifting heavy all the time. But heavy without getting injured is my thing. So I train for longevity. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay. Sorry if you've already had this question, but when using 2 kettlebells, must they always be of the same weight? No, because think about this. In real life, it's a totally different thing than a barbell. If you have different weight on each side of the barbell, it's going to be tilting. With a kettlebell, they're closer to the center of our mass, right? So if I have a 20 kilogram here and a 22, or a 16 and a 20, that is relatively close. Now, if I have try to do double snatches with a 32 in one hand and a 24 in the other, that's going to be really off. You're going to want to stay away from something like that. But if they're fairly close, within 4 kilograms, that's going to be only around 8.8 pounds. That's not too bad. I can double snatch things like that, especially any static things like squats, deadlifts, even, well, I wouldn't hesitate on swings unless they're closer in nature. But presses, things like that, that's totally fine. Just alternate side to side, try to keep your balance. But also, like if people are pressing, say they had an injury and they're slowly building back the weight, I always train my side that wasn't injured. I continue to lift as heavy as I possibly can with that side. So you might have seen some videos, mountain bike crashes that I've had and things like that I've really injured a shoulder or something like that. And I might have to go down to a 12 kilogram kettlebell just to get everything working right again and being safe. I like that name, spoiler alert. But anyway, no, you don't have to be exactly the same weight. Just certain exercises you want to be mindful, like jerks and things like that. But if it's like a 20 and a 22, yes, you can feel the difference, but it's not that much. I actually like to do that a little bit, the offset weights, because life's offset. Like if you have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, and you're grabbing them at the same time, carrying them at the same time, we have to get used to not having everything perfectly balanced. But then again, like I said, take care, maybe not for beginners or stuff like that, but really think about focusing, being mindful about that. Mindfulness is the key to everything that you're doing, every single rep. And that's one reason why I like kettlebells. It's, in powerlifting and Olympic lifting, you have to be very mindful for that short period of time. It might be insanely heavy weight, but overall, and this is another thing that's good for people that have lots of, stress or mental stress, maybe they can really focus on doing kettlebell stuff or even kettlebell sport for a longer time, because it puts you in that zone, that flow state of trying to reach a flow state of focusing on every single rep. It's the difference between like running on a street versus trail running. If I don't pay attention to my trail running, I am going to roll an ankle. I'm going to trip and fall. It's very, very different than running down a smooth paved street or sidewalk in a neighborhood. No matter the endurance, the time, the distance. Like when I mountain bike, it's so much easier on a road, but I have to pay more attention to cars that aren't paying attention to me. Mountain biking is different. I have to pay attention to every single line, every root, every rock, but the trees more likely aren't going to be falling down. But it's just different. So being mindful in the moment, that's the biggest thing you want to do. Like I said before, if you don't mind, if this channel helps you, we're up in a lot of subscribers, and I really appreciate that. But leave a super thanks or something like that. Leave a couple bucks. Appreciate it. How many days a week do you recommend working legs with kettlebells? What's your favorite leg exercises? Well, I put 23 in my awesome exercises for squats, like 23 squats, 25 squats. Search that video on this channel. There's so many. I love doing double outside of the body swings, outside of the hip swings. I love doing double snatches, double half snatches where you drop the rack and then back down, because then you're putting the most amount of power. You see someone doing double snatches with 24 kilograms. 24 and 24 is 48. You're going to do a lot more double snatches with 224s than you are going to do single arms on each side with 48, because the grip in your hand is going to be the limiting factor. We're trying to build our body. The last thing you want to do is be wasted by your skin or what you can handle with your grip. So yeah, 48 kilogram kettlebell snatch, that's great. I see people snatching heavier than that, but then at the same time, they're not building their body by using a lot of those doubles that puts more weight on the actual engine of your body. All right, so let me read this again from favorite leg exercises. I love single leg stuff. I love lunges, reverse lunges, things like that. Let me hop to this next one. I've been hitting the kneeling double half snatch. There is no stronger hip explosion exercise you can get. Do you incorporate a lot of singles for any exercise when you're in training? I do a lot of singles. I do a lot of snatch kettlebell singles. I do a lot of single clean and presses to make sure that I'm as even as I can be. My outer limit protocol, if you haven't looked into that, do it. That's one of the best ways to get stronger with your kettlebell pressing that I've found. It's all over. People are putting it on Reddit. I really appreciate that. But the outer limits, especially volume 1, you're going to be doing a weight that's 80-90% of your heaviest press, and you're going to be doing up to 30 repetitions of that. And the way you do it, though, is the volume adds up, because you're doing 1 rep every minute on the arm, but 1 rep every 30 seconds on the body. It just produces a very good stimulus for building strength and muscle. Let's see, I will take advantage of one more question. My calf's ankle seems to be consistently tight. What can I do to keep things pliable to try to femoral sled 1 time a week? Try some other things other than just foam rolling. So definitely get a body worker. Try to get somebody, maybe hydration. I'm still drinking coffee and I need more water. More hydration can definitely help. Check your shoes. Biggest thing is that people are wearing heeled shoes with a drop, with a big millimeter drop from the heel down to the toe. That might keep your calves in a shortened state when you're walking around, when you're sitting. Anytime you check how you sleep. I'm a stomach sleeper, so that means when I'm sleeping, instead of my feet being up, they're getting pressed down by the blanket. So, excuse me. So I end up in a shortened calf state. There's my calf right there. That happens a lot. So my calves get tight. I like to roll, but try different tools. I have so many around here. I'm not a big fan of just the same density ball. I'm trying to think. Try different things. Sometimes softer is better. Like when I'm reading a book at night, I have a bar. Body tempering might work really well for you. Heavier weights, long sustained stuff. Try voodoo flossing, stuff from Kelly Starrett and Kabuki Strength, things like that. I'm trying to think. Look at some of these other questions. I love your approach to training, and I love your videos. Well, thank you. I love your comment. Like I said, please, anything you can do to help promote or just visit my websites. So www.kbmuscle.com is going to take you to my kettlebell-only muscle programs. But not just the programs. I want to be making a community with that. The KettlebellLocker.com has all sorts of stuff. I'm looking for people to write things. I'm looking for trainers to connect and gyms to connect with, federations and all that stuff. I don't believe in a dogmatic approach to kettlebell training. If you want to be stiff, and really tense the whole time, there's places to go with that. You know what I didn't do? This is irritating. I promised a discount code for my new double kettlebell program. I'm going to have to put that up right now. Let me see if I can make that. But keep asking questions. Okay, so someone's like, I just bought kettlebell only muscle gain 1 and 2, and neither finish actually reached about 3/4. Okay, it is a pretty long, pretty tough one, but I know they're wonderful investment even for the future comeback. Awesome, I'm happy to hear that. I want to make programs that aren't just here the flavor of the day. These are longevity-based approaches. I wouldn't want someone to do kettlebell only muscle gain over and over and over and over. It's 8 to 16 weeks long, but then do something different after that for a different phase in your macro cycle. Let me go into here and put that code up. So what should it be? Does anybody have any ideas? What's an awesome code? I'm gonna put like 10% off this new one, the double kettlebell precision. Preview? No, getting closer. There we go. Manage my products. But yeah, I've spent a lot of time producing videos, and I put maybe 30 new ones up. A lot of them are hidden. A lot of them are for this new program with better camera, better editing, all that stuff, and I'm actually taking a lot more time. Because a lot of stuff these people said I put out for free, and I have for a long time. I just want to help build this, but also at the same time, we got to take care of my family and what I do, and this is my main thing. Let's see. How would you program pistols, windmills, and carries? Carry anytime you want. I love carries for warm-ups, cool-downs. That's great. I put a lot of carries actually in my new double bell program. Pistols I'm not a big fan of anymore. I would much rather do reverse lunges, single step-ups, weighted step-ups, things like that. Just personally, I'm 225 pounds. That's a thing. I'm a lot heavier. So when I was a lot smaller, like 180, pistols all the time. But really, I don't find it's a huge carryover into my life, so I just kind of quit doing them. But program on a leg day. Have them, definitely, I wouldn't do them when you're fatigued. I would do them more as a regression or progression from like maybe a 24-inch box. So stepping up from there, then you're not just you're not just being limited by your flexibility, certain things. Other than that, they're cool. I've done a lot of them. Windmills, they're a new program. I enjoy windmills. I'm not a huge bent press fan, just because I've injured my shoulder a few times, externally rotated. So I don't find a huge reward to that for me. Now, for some people, my buddies Levi Marquardt and Steven Rhino Strength on Instagram, y'all know him. If you don't, you got to go check it out. He's just literally maybe the strongest person lifting the heaviest kettlebells in the world. Go check that stuff out. Rhino Strength on Instagram. Tell him I sent you, and tell him a bunch of shit. Whatever. He's a good friend of mine. Let's see. Yeah, so what should the thing be? So I'm right in here. I'm in kettlebell only muscle gain. So kbmuscle.com. Of course, there's an error. Let me refresh that. Welcome to my life here. So marketing, we're going to create a coupon. Yeah. Anybody? Idea, coupon idea. Thanks. That's always a pretty good one. Let me add one here. Create coupon. Let me just put swing this one, because that's this. And that's this channel. Let me do 10%. So 10%, click, limit to a product or category. Yes, product, choose product. I got so many things here. Where are we at? Double. We're going to do the double precision. And why is it not there? There, double kettlebell precision. Maximum number of products, that one. Limit number of total uses. Let me put that to 50. Okay. No minimum. Sorry, I'm itchy. No minimum required price. Who's my favorite YouTuber in the fitness world? I don't watch that stuff. I don't really watch a lot of things. And maybe that's why all my stuff ends up being pretty different. because I don't really even absorb any people's ideas. I've done this for so long. There's too much stuff out there that is, I don't want to say just too, what's the word? Too flashy or whatever. I just don't really like watching a lot of stuff. I really can't think of anybody right now. Personally, I'm a creator, so I'm constantly just creating stuff. If I'm out online, I'm watching music videos while I do this stuff, or I'm reading books, or I'm making coffee, or polishing knives, or things like that. So I really don't know that question. Sorry about that. How's the Pro Kettlebell working out? Haven't seen you use it in any of your videos beyond the initial impressions. Go to my Instagram, Swing This Kettlebell channel. Many of the videos have been the Pro Kettlebell. Those are sick. I can't believe I got a 26, a 28, and a 32. I'm doing almost 50 snatches on each side a day, like at least every day that I can. And I'm doing that because I can with that thing. I'm not developing any issues by doing super high volume. Got to get ready for this competition in Portugal. So yeah, thank you so much to Pro Kettlebell. Your bells are sick. I can't wait to the new foundry to be able to produce the bells lighter than 24 kilogram, because I will have a lot. People ask me if I lift heavy all the time. I love lifting heavy, but I lift medium weights more often. I love 24s. I love 20s. A 22 kilogram kettlebell might be my absolute favorite. But okay, let me get back to this. Save. Swing This 1 is the code, and it will end. Let's end on Monday for everybody here. Start now. Boom. Start. What is today? 5/5. Ends on the 16th. 10% off with Swing This 1 at kbmuscle.com. You know what? I'm just going to go back and change that. 10% off all the products. Boom. So let's change that. So, thanks for listening to me ramble too, because that's all I really know how to do. I'm not gonna limit this to a product or category. So there's 10% off any program or bundles of programs that I have. Swing This 1. Should I type that in? You can figure out. It's the name of this channel. How do I avoid overuse in wrists often? Do you plan deloads often? No, I don't plan. I just go how I feel. Like if I write something for a client and I tell them, how do you feel? And they say, not feeling so good today. And like, okay, great, take a day off. There's always going to be another day to train. Now, if you aren't ready for, maybe say it's a competition in 6 weeks, and you wait till the last 2 weeks to start training for it, that's on you. I want to be prepared to do almost anything. That's why I'm snatching 50 reps in a row on each side in a straight set to get me ready as a general for my snatch competition. Now, specialization, I should be able to go from that at any time, okay? I'm currently ramping up, so I started doing that, with 20s, and I'll do, sprint sets as fast as I can with 22s. I'll do however many I can in a row with 32 kilogram without ripping my hands. I'll do all these variables I'm trying to change. And the reason why I'm doing that is so I don't get overuse by the same exact movement, the same exact feeling, the same exact pressure. Because if I'm using 32s all the time, I'm gonna start getting bruised just by how much I need to do of it. But since I'm not competing with the 32, I had to choose between 32 and 24. I picked 24 because I wasn't expected to do this. I wasn't really that expecting of getting on this team. But anyway, so I picked 24 because that's what I do all the time. So lots of 26 kilograms training. When I do the 32, I'm usually cutting it down into 10 to 20 reps in a row, sprints or slower things like that. Hand working on form of the grip, I don't have snatching hands, and that's one of the last videos I made showing about hands, really. And people, I wanted you to see that point of view. You know, we all have different hands. That's a thing, and we all feel different in when we do our exercises and kettlebell snatch and all that stuff. So anyway, I don't have snatching hands, but that made a video on it. See why. Let's see. If I do like a deload, it might be maybe trying to go cycling or biking more or something like that. Currently this week is a whole lot of moving and packing to move our home. So it's been very, very busy for me lately. And so I'm kind of, everything's up here. I'm stressed. I'm at my float center. So I've been trying to get in and float in between, like when I clean, you know, even if it's 30 minutes, trying to get in a little bit more of that. It's just like, you know, better stress management. That's a really important thing. Sometimes think about if you're really, really stressed out, it's not going to transition well into your training. So maybe backing off training a little bit and just going on doing some easy stuff and focusing on breath work, focusing on your nutrition, all these things that you can control. See, I love the mountain bike and I can't control the weather. So I can't get upset if it's a, you know, crappy day or a muddy day. I can't mountain bike. So I might road ride or something, or I might go inside and do training. You know, like internet's so full of opinions, of course, and this is opinion as well. But someone told me, like, I can't believe you train inside. I'm like, well, dude, I don't need to, you know, they're talking about how artificial light's killing everybody. I'm like, there's always extremes to people's beliefs. So I try to do the best I can. If I can't be outside, and I love to train, I love to exercise, I love to be active. And why I started training kettlebells, I put this up recently, was I love to ride mountain bikes. And kettlebells, I don't think there's any tool at all that's better for a cyclist or a runner or a trail runner or a mountain biker than kettlebell training, because it's not, there's so much more to it. You can do it instead of having that straight bar or machine that stabilizes everything for you. When you're on a bike or mountain bike, your feet are never in the same line. Never. They're either here or here. So why would you train all the time developing power from your hips at the same time? Okay? So anyway, mountain biking, kettlebells, great. Did everybody get this code? The code is SWING-THIS1 for 10% off anything on kbmuscle.com. Any of my programs, we got programs for beginners all the way to intermediate, all the way up to advanced. Let me read that question again. Do I consider plant-based nutrition superior? I don't, but I've tried all sorts of stuff for months at a time. I've went plant-based for a while. I didn't feel it. Actually, I just felt craving that my body was looking for, but I try to get the good quality food that I can. So when I purchase as much as I can, I want to purchase from local farms and stuff like that. I don't like a lot of preservatives in my things. So I think when people are talking about like having bad red meat and things, they're loaded with preservatives and they're loaded with other stuff. You know, I try to keep as natural as I can. But it doesn't always happen that way. Good points on variability, stress management. Have a back off one time a week training at the moment. Just doing what I can to maintain muscle and range of motion. Absolutely. I mean, that's totally fine. There's times when I train only 1 or 2 times per week. People think I work out in a gym. Well, I really don't. I want to be outside as much as I can. I like to hike, but I also have a 3-year-old, and my partner and I can't always do the things that we want the thing about being a parent is you can still do the things that you love to do. You just might not be able to do them at the intensity that you want or are used to. Okay, so I hope I'll take a clip of this and post that somewhere. Help me spread that knowledge. 1 second, coffee break. It's just, I would love to go mountain biking as much as I want to, but sometimes I just need to be out and rolling on the bike. Even I got my little dude in a backpack or in the trailer or in the seat on our bike. It's so good for us physically, mentally, emotionally to be able to do some of the things we like to do, even if it's a small amount. It's like training. Okay, if you love to train, as we age, you are not going to consistently increase all your variables. Okay, there's going to be a time where mobility or endurance might be more paramount to you than just strength stuff. Like I used to say, okay, wow, if I can deadlift 500 pounds, that's awesome. I still think that's wonderful. If I can deadlift close to 500 pounds, or personally right now, just walk up and do 405 or anything above, that's great for me. I don't need to see, I'm 42 years old. I don't need to increase. I'm not a power lifter. I don't need to see a 600-700 pound deadlift. I don't give a shit about how much weight that I lift if I don't feel great. And a lot of people that I talk to, they're in the same boat. Even some of the strongest people in the world. Like look at Chris Duffin. Look at Donnie Thompson. They're all trying to feel good and help you feel good, even though they had world records and stuff like that. But it's so important as we age. I think a lot of people get set on numbers. United States, everything wants to be more and faster and bigger and higher numbers. But the most important thing is our mental health, mental wellness. Let's stop comparing everybody against each other. So, like I said, I was surprised that I got into that kettlebell team to represent U.S. in the kettlebell sport because that wasn't a goal of mine. I did the best thing that I could at that time, and it was good enough. So now, cool. I'm going to continue to do the best that I can. Maybe I'll have a personal record in competition. Maybe I won't. But I'm just going to do the best that I can in the environment and the circumstances that I'm at. But like I said, back to rambling. Anybody got some questions? I'm actually so incredibly hungry right now. Just reading that comment makes me want to eat anything. I have been doing lower carb lately. It does really help me lean out, just because I'm not doing as much long bike riding, and I don't train for an hour and a half of my kettlebell stuff. I usually try to do anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes of kettlebell work, so resistance training. Some days it's literally 10 minutes of pure actual work, and the rest periods are in there too. It might end up being 30 minutes, but still. I just don't have time. I'm not out riding my bike 3 times a week for 2 hours each time. So yeah, thanks. Hit a thumbs up if you can. Tell me what some of your favorite videos I've done. Anything I can do for you, please leave down below in the comments. Like I said, anything you can do to help get people to my websites, kbmuscle.com, the Kettlebell Locker, all that stuff. I don't want to focus. It's not just about sales. It's about getting people in there and connecting and doing that. I got a couple. Enjoying the kettlebell only muscle gain. On week 3, workout 3, can only imagine 16 kilogram snatches. So that's the heaviest I can do. Heck yeah, that's fine. Because before I was there too. There was a time when I took a video in about 2011, and it was a 20 kilogram kettlebell, and I was strong back then, but I could only do it 40 times in a row on each arm. And I looked at that video now, and form, strength, endurance, control, knowledge, all those things increased since that time. And now I'm like, wow, I can knock out 100 in a row in a sprint on those. And it's not that I got insanely stronger. The technique got better. So don't worry about what weight it is. Make sure that the weight's going to challenge you no matter what number is on the side or not. It's how we feel and how we react to it that allows us to go to another step, whether that step's higher or whether that step's farther or whether that step is to the side on our path to what we want to do with it. Okay? Like I said, don't get stuck into the numbers. Because we're here for longevity. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for your feedback and emails too. Absolutely. That's what I want to do. So yes, some of my programs are more expensive than a lot of stuff. I don't want to sell something and ghost people. I want to help you. whether that's leaving an email, whether that's like sending a comment on this. I want to respond to as much of that as I possibly can. And sometimes we have super, super crazy weeks, and I'm like, I got lost. That email, I don't even know. So if you've ever sent me an email, send it again. Sorry, I didn't want to be a jerk and forget about stuff, but it happens. Just like I can't remember what I was doing yesterday. Let's see. Agree with longevity chat. Think maintaining range of motion across all joints is key, and free weights seem best for that. I agree as well. But then I'm not going to knock anybody that's getting older that wants to sit down in the gym, feel good, and take care of themselves and keep strength, because strength is so important for us. It helps with reaction. If you fall, are you going to be strong enough to let your muscles absorb that force before you smash your face on the ground? Things like that. So maintaining strength is very, very important. But it also doesn't have to be a 600-pound deadlift. It doesn't have to be double jerking 232-kilogram kettlebells. It just has to be strong enough for you to be comfortable and safe in your day-to-day life. So think about that. As we age, things are going to change. There's going to be overuse. You're going to have usage injuries. You may have trauma, things like that. You might mental stuff. But anyway, let's see. Good time with the program. Every session is different and interesting. Now that is my biggest thing. I don't want to write a 4-week program and say, here, just do this every single time. I just did. I wrote a 4-week double program, but it's meant to be progressed. But when I wrote that 8-week kettlebell only muscle gain, they literally are almost 30 workouts that are different. It's not just based on progression for numbers. It's based on the overall effect of what it does to your body. So that day that's dominantly hips, the next week is going to be totally different, basing exercises on variables of exercises. So a lot of people, like, I'm not seeing add an extra rep each week, add extra set every 2 or something like that. Like, when you do it over again, it's going to be the challenge, and your body's going to adapt it in many different ways. So I think people do like conjugate powerlifting and different things. They're rotating exercises. When I used to bodybuild, I would rotate exercises. I would lift them, pick 3 for my back. And when I got to a sticking point, I would throw that exercise out and try a different exercise that was almost harder for me. The weights would always be lower, but then I could build them up. When I'd reach a ceiling, I'd throw it out and try something different, and I could rotate them back. So that's why you're climbing multiple different ladders at the same time. Absolutely so hungry right now. But yeah, so if anybody wants that 10% off for whoever's been watching this, the Swing This One is the coupon code for kbmuscle.com for 10% off anything you want. Let's look at see any other things. All right, does anybody have any questions on exercises or programming, or like I said, I'll be looking for people that have input into adding things into the KettlebellLocker.com. Any questions below? Sorry, I can't really even hear you over the grumbling in my stomach. That's the hard thing about going lower carb for me. It's like I was used to doing something and then dropping something down. Feel a little sluggish. My brain is working slightly different. I did cut my hair. My partner she said, when are you going to cut your hair? And this kept happening. And then finally I was like, I like it long. And then she said it again, and I went to the bathroom to take a shower and just buzz it off. And I don't have time for that. I don't have time for any. There's just so many other things in my head. What is Kettlebell Locker? www.thekettlebelllocker.com. And it has a whole lot of different things, connections. It has best places to get kettlebells. It has discount codes. It has recovery tools, all these different tabs for stuff. Basically, it's an online amount of big connection of information. I have some of my programs on there. interview other kettlebell trainers, gyms, athletes, all that stuff, and try to put that on there. For the last year, I've really been focusing on kbmuscle.com, basically all my programs, my programming, and things like that. But a lot of stuff started, my online thing started with connecting through the kettlebelllocker.com. So if you haven't been there, please go there. Leave us some input on stuff that you would like to see, or maybe get some knowledge. There's lots of different free programming from different kettlebell coaches, not just me. People that I trust and like, and I want to help. Basically, have a community center, an online community center there that isn't saying hardstyle is better, kettlebell sport's better. It's everybody there. Here's information on all these different ones. Here's good coaches in different places and how you can learn from them. So yeah, anything, stop by thekettlebelllocker.com. Trying to think. We have some Dennis Vasilov. We have some interviews here. He's a spotlight. I need to change that up. There's interviews with Kim Fox, one of the absolute strongest female kettlebell sport competitors there is out there. Double kettlebell presses and double squats 3 times a week, too much? Absolutely not. If you can continue to go from it, do it. I do kettlebell snatches 5 times a week. It just depends. What I would do, though, if you're going to do those 3 times a week, don't do the exact same thing there. Let's see. Yeah, don't do the exact same thing. So maybe do a heavy, medium, light day. Do different variations of the exercises. Do different timing things. Even try them at different times of the day. It's always just different, okay? So otherwise, we're trying to do the same thing over and over. It can lead to repetitious strain or repetitious injuries. Can you explain the bulking add-on program that you offer with one of your Kobe programs? Not sure about that. I'd love to help you, but I'm not sure I understand that question. Bulking add-on program. Would that be the kettlebell only muscle gain? Most of my programs are based on, it's either a conditioning thing like the STKB complex conditioning, which is just based on complexes. A lot of that is controlled by what you're eating. So I'm trying to cut down. So I'm definitely not going to be eating a surplus of food no matter what training that I'm doing. I'm also probably going to be doing some heavy stuff with more, so maybe a 1 to 2 ratio of strength to conditioning. So I do strength training still to maintain the mass that I have. But then I want to do a little bit more work conditioning wise so I can help burn off or utilize more calorie usage with the same time bringing in less calories. So my net caloric stuff changes. So I'm lowering down, I should be losing weight. The opposite, if you're trying to build, I mean, you're going to want to lift heavy. You're going to want to lift with some volume and get that stimulus. At the same time, you have to have enough calories in your body coming in to sustain the energy and the remodeling process that you can to build. People think I need to eat a crazy amount of food. I absolutely don't. There's a lot of times I have built strength and muscle with not even 2,800 calories. It's just I'm efficient at stuff. And when I need to cut down, I really have to use a lot less calories than most people think. I mean, I've been on a national stage in the NPC bodybuilding in 2009, and I was under 2,000 calories at a point. And at the same time, when I was bulking up, I don't want to get fat. That's the thing. But right now, I have a little bit more fat mass than I would like. Let's see. Do you follow any specific diet like fasting? I have before, and there's actually on this channel right here, I did an intermittent fasting test. It works for certain things. Like, okay, today I haven't eaten. I've had coffee this morning. I've been up since 8 o'clock. It's 3 in the afternoon now, and I'm like, well, hell, that's a intermittent fasting day right now. Since the last time I ate, it's been about 12 to 13 hours. So I'm probably going to try to push all that food into one 8-hour feeding window, and then I can get, if that fits my schedule, I'm going to continue to do that. I don't like to train early in the morning, so I don't train fasted whatsoever. I will ride my bike or I will go walking fasted, but I'm not going to train how I do. Starting to get some, I don't know, some maybe odd comments. Can I just work out 2 days a week? Can I still get some progress kettlebell muscle gain 1 and 2? I absolutely think you can, because it's about segments of lifting really heavy at the same time. Sorry, itching. At the same time, 2 times a week, and that. If you train hard enough, you're going to have, 2 or 3 days to recuperate from that. Okay, so I think your recuperation is going to be great if you only train 2 times a week. Hopefully, you can go out and do some like play or fun stuff there as well. But I think you can definitely get some progress, especially with those, because they are mostly full body. Good answer. I did do intermittent fasting, but kettlebell, I definitely would eat more regularly doing KBOMG. It's just, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of volume. You're going to need calories. If anything, make sure you try to sip on I don't know, everybody's views are different, but whether it's a Gatorade or an electrolyte drink or some caloric, simple carbohydrates through your workout, you might have a blasting good time, get really good pump as well. Make sure you have enough mineral salt, like sea salt, and in that it's going to help you if you sweat a lot. Let's see. I've got to imagine you have had tight traps before. How do you keep an eye on top of this? Yes, I work on it all the time. I literally working on it right now, just massaging. You can take any sort of ball and just kind of roll the opposite trap. I float. I'm at my flotation tank business right now. I do a light stretching. I have an S hook that I can help. I use body tempering tools. You can get underneath a barbell and put a pad on the barbell and stand in it and move your arm around. I got videos on this too. Yes, I definitely get tight traps. Last night, like I said, I did 50 snatches as fast as I possibly could, each arm. Let's see. So yeah, I get tight traps all the time. Kettlebell snatch, single arm kettlebell snatch, 50 to 100, to 100 pounds is going to make your traps tight. I don't do a lot of barbell anymore. I had for a while. I got a couple new bars like Kabuki Strength Transformer bar and a multi-press bar, which I had never had before. They fit my body better than a straight bar. I really can't stand straight bars anymore. I did so much of it a long time ago. Opinions on Maya rest pause set on isolation movement. Been doing them for now 2 weeks while doing the bid lifts normally. I loved rest pause training. I loved it. We have a good spotter. I mean, with barbell, it's fun. I even do it sometimes. Like people might think some of my ladder sets could be considered a little bit of rest pause just because they're changing in the intervals of the repetition range. So yeah, I like it. Thanks for the answer. Thank you for the question. What would be good? I think you just bought a program, so I recognize the name. But like I said, I want to answer for everybody. Excuse me. Hi, Joe. What would be a good alternative for flip swings in the Bruce complex? High pull. Just a higher swing with a little pull. So I know you don't want to flip it. Maybe if you're inside or in this beautiful space that I'm in, I don't want to drop that kettlebell on the floor. I don't like dropping kettlebells. That's why I'm not a juggler. I'm just not really a big fan of dropping kettlebells. I like to keep my investments top quality. But some super pretty competition kettlebells, I'm not going to throw them on the ground. Like, I've rarely dropped kettlebells. You can see them in my videos. I do set them down gently. But anyway, instead of the swing, flip swing into the goblet squat, that is the Bruce complex. My pup that has passed on, my little shadow you might see in the videos from the past decade, little black pug, my dude, that is Bruce. So yeah, if you don't want to do a flip swing, you can just do a high pull. So basically a higher swing, not an overhead swing. American, don't do that shit. What would I say? Danced in Roses. Thank you for the thumbs up and thank you for the thanks. Like I said, if this really helped you, I definitely went a little bit long on this. I thought I was gonna do half an hour. I would love to do multiple hours of talking, and maybe I can do that coming up soon once I get everything lined up. I'm supposed to go home right now and pack. Hopefully my partner's not watching this, but you know, and take a night off from training people at the gym tonight so I can pack and have a new location of all sorts of stuff. Keith, awesome, thank you. Yes, that's who I was talking to. And then Marcus, yes, you bought a program too. Thank you. But let's see. I'll be pissed. Let's see. I am a bit pissed on me not buying Precision with the discount, but your next birthday. So Marcus, if you're wanting to get that, I just put 10% off right now. If you want to go to kbmuscle.com, if you want to get the Precision, yes, I will have another birthday, but I better have more plans done by then next year. But anyway, Swing This One is the discount code to get you 10% off any program or anything. Even if you wanted to do an hour-long video chat with me, 10% off that stuff for this video here. And if anybody wants to, you know, a super thanks or anything like that, I think you can click on the button and whatever. Hi. Now we're starting to get some spam bots in here. That's cool too. Whatever. Thanks, YouTube. I just want people watching. Like I said, but anything you can do to help, sharing our videos are great. Putting videos on Reddit, tagging, things like that, that's wonderful. Sharing my Instagram, if you're at Swing This Kettlebell, if you share in your stories, tag us, please, that helps. Direct people to, you know, if I'm helping you out on all of our channels, just send out a, you're not, okay, I'm glad you're not a bot. Hey coach, just finished kettlebell only muscle gain, absolutely amazing. Will there be a monthly follow along anytime? Monthly is tough for me. There's so many things I want to organize and do. I would love to do like a subscription service. So if anybody knows of, I don't want to replicate what other people are doing. I also want to do things nice, and just a way that I can keep up with it and not become stressed out. That's a big thing. Sometimes I put off on putting out programs because I don't want it to stress me out. I've been under some stuff for the past 5 years that most people may not understand. So a lot of stuff is one of the reasons why I do a lot of online work is I'm not really available in person as much as I used to be. I work with a select, basically invite only at my training center now, and it's going to be like that for a while. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have any kettlebell yet, but I'll check out your videos if I can incorporate that on my workout routine. A lot of the stuff that I have, even some of the programs, you can use dumbbells instead of kettlebells. You can do most of the exercises, especially with lighter weight ones. You can do that. Let's see. Well, now there's a lot of questions coming through. Let me check that again. The rest pause sets, are they as effective as doing sets normally? I don't think you're losing gains. I absolutely love it. It's all comes down to what you can do. If you need to take a couple deep breaths in between that and get another couple reps, I mean, that's awesome. It's all just challenging you. That's like saying you can only get as far as you can when you sprint. Well, if I need to walk around the corner and then just keep going, I'm going to end up going farther. So I love rest pause sets. Obviously, I compete, so you can't use them in certain competitions or something like that. But that is how I get more repetition for my kettlebell sport stuff without tearing my hands. It's basically alternating sides, which is not allowed in competition, but it is allowed in fitness. Competition is not fitness, and fitness is not, you have to have fitness for competition. But if your focus is only competition, you might be hurting yourself in the long run. Okay, so let's see. Appreciate your insight and knowledge. Thanks for putting together genuine muscle gain programs together. Absolutely. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your thanks. Trying to think. That's what I wanted. Like all these flows and things, while that's incredibly, it's awesome. I love it. But if you're juggling a 16-kilogram kettlebell, you're not focusing on building muscle. You're not going to get muscle. If anything, you're going to get a lot of tears in your hands. You're getting a lot of jammed fingers. You're going to get a lot of stuff that basically that's a specialization, okay? A lot of focus, and that's wonderful. But when people are using kettlebells and they're like, well, I see all these people doing these fancy things on the internet, it's usually for show. And then if their specialization, a lot of these people aren't even good at great form, and they're not lifting heavy kettlebells. So they're just specializing with a weight and focusing on specialization, which is to juggle and to focus, and that's great. But I'm not that person. There's plenty of other people that like to do it. But the flows and things like that, I'm more for shorter, like complexes and chains or whatever you want to call them, versus a 2-minute long 10 exercise movement. It's more memorization than it is actual like strength and power. Let me go here. Have you noticed better hypertrophy when focusing on grinds over explosives? No, but I do both. You have to be able to be stable, so your slower exercises will help you increase your stabilization and focus, but also at the same time, power. If I can throw two 53-pound kettlebells through that ceiling, I'm going to have more strength than I am if I'm just pressing them slowly. But at the same time, pressing them slowly involves incorporating, paying attention to how I'm doing it. Yeah, I'll do both of them, but I like power. People ask me, well, how'd you get your quad so big? I mountain bike, and I do a lot of heavy kettlebell jerks. I don't do that many swings that much, but a clean and a snatch is based off a swing. Deadlift. Okay, yeah. So I'm unable to lose weight even after doing a lot of cardio. Also think about you might be overstressing your body. Give her back off a little bit. Maybe do some light and low intensity cardio, so steady state, like walking is always great, and then watch your calories. And if you're not looking in to see what your calories are, you may be overeating. People don't realize like a couple bites of spoons from a peanut butter ends up being several hundred calories, and that might be the thing that you are over. I mean, some people need to knock down a couple hundred calories and through the day, or some people through the week. But anyway, just watch out. Can I suggest some diet plan? I'm not a nutritionist. I like things that help me. I liked Precision Nutrition to learn from, and then RP Strength is they do templates, but you got to be focused on what you're eating. You got to watch everything. We continue to put out programs, coach. Seriously, I have not found the best coach. I cannot even imagine training anyone else's this style. I'm looking at your competition program. Seriously, looks fun. Thank you very much. I'm always going to put out programs. It's literally what makes me me. It's how I make income, really. So anybody that can share the website, I appreciate it. I will definitely keep putting out programs, but I can't do them like these people that are putting out these short workouts and things like that, like it gets everybody to jump from programs when programs should be something you should focus on doing it again and making the adjustments and increase from that. Trying to think. So yeah, I have a bunch out now. If you want to rotate between some of them, I can help you do that. But then I am going to keep creating stuff. I don't think that there is a great fat loss program for kettlebell sport. I've seen people cut weight just by lifting heavy stuff from kettlebell-only muscle gain. Do I recommend kettlebells over machines? For my goals, absolutely. I love it. It's just more fun. I can do them anywhere. I don't have to be looking forward to kettlebell-only muscle gain 3. I don't know if there's going to be 3, but definitely check out the double bell precision. You might like that. It's different. It's a mix between kettlebell 1, KBOMG 1 and KBOMG 2. It's right in the middle, so it might be a third. Can I integrate more chest in your next program? I'm not going to, but you can. You can always just add some stuff. I mean, I put some recommendations. Do more push-ups. Add more floor presses. I love alternating floor presses. I love tape presses with kettlebells, things like that. I'm trying to think. More Kentucky burpees. So if instead of doing the push-up to clean and jerk, do 2 push-ups to clean and jerk, 2 push-ups to clean and jerk. Then you'll end up, with 10 push-ups and 5 clean and jerks. Anyway, yeah, I'll think about that. Take it into consideration. Looking forward to KB. Let's see. Thigh fat reduction. Any suggestions? Basically overall, just caloric. Watch what you're eating, things like that. I love cycling. I love biking. People do like massage, self-massage, all that stuff. That's where a lot of that could be talk to hormone doctor or something like that. Maybe your body maybe it's different. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. But I do hold a lot more body fat on my legs than I do most guys, so it's just I'm all different. Trying to think. I'm gonna have to go here real soon because I got to get to work. Actually, I'm at work, but I got to finish and go home and do some packing. So yeah, if this helped you out, if you don't mind, if you can, leave help share all of our stuff. Visit our websites. You know that traction online. Just when you stopping by and seeing all that stuff, and maybe even leaving a question or sharing it here and there, I really appreciate it. It helps our community grow. Like I said, I don't want any flash. I want to be a creator. Just keep putting it out there so you can use it and actually use it instead of be a flashy video. But just keep going. And then any amount of traffic that you can send or go to or provide us, that's helpful at kbmuscle.com. Ooh, here's some more. Oh, there's so much more. If you're a hard gainer, I would definitely recommend drinking carbohydrate through your workout. It's going to help a lot. So that's what I do when I cycle as well. Thanks to the content you create on YouTube. Always helping, super motivational. Thank you. What's a good time to go up in a new kettlebell weight, and how much of a jump should it be? I don't believe that you should just only jump every 4 kilograms. Like this 24 to 32, that's 8. That's ridiculous. But that was an old recommendation. If you can afford it, get the smallest jump possible. I like 20 to 24. Remember, there's a 22 now involved that you can get. And if you can afford it, get it, because it's just going to be more beneficial. Trying to think. All right, so everybody, I got to go. Thank you so much for listening, and leave as many questions as you want below in the comments, and then I'll try to make videos from that. So 10% off all orders at kbmuscle.com right now with Swing This One, okay? Thank you for the chat. I'm going to hopefully I'll be able to do like a monthly subscription, but I got to figure out the best way to do it without looking. Well, I don't want it to look stupid. I don't want it to be cheesy. I want it to be high powered and I want it to be knowledgeable, fun, but at the same time, I don't want it to be like every other thing out there. So that's why I don't just hire someone off the internet to do my stuff. Thank you, and thank you. I will see ya later. Oh yeah, STKB.